Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am grateful to Seek and Tech in Asia, the organizers of the Virtual Tech Careers Fair, the largest of its kind in Asia, for the opportunity to share with you some of my observations on the work scene in the 21st century. 3 years ago, on March 11th, 2019, the World Health Organization, the WHO, declared the COVID-19 outbreak as a global pandemic. Little did we know at that time that we would enter into a protracted battle with the virus. Over 1,000 days later, we still have no idea when this pandemic will fade out. Some experts even reckon that we may have to live with a permanent pandemic, whatever that means. The pandemic has sadly taken away millions of lives and dramatically upended the way that we live, learn, and work. The Director General of WHO intimated that COVID-19 has actually caused more mass trauma than World War II, and its impact will last for many years to come. This disease is a stark manifestation of the VUCA world in which we live, a world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, as well as the trends that are disrupting our societies. These new trends include digital transformation, environmental degradation, work alienation, and the breakdown of social contact in many societies. The pandemic has reminded us in a blunt and brutal way of what Heraclitus, the ancient Greek philosopher, said 2,700 years ago. He told us that the only constant in life is change. What is different nowadays is that changes are more frequent, disruptive, unpredictable, and contagious, literally and figuratively. The black swan can be a virus, a tsunami, a cyber attack, social unrest, and even global conflicts, events that we can hardly imagine, fathom, or control. The COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated trends in remote work, e-commerce, work process, automation, and a multitude of business practices. Digitization has now become a necessity instead of a choice for all organizations, big or small. According to a McKinsey survey across 8 countries last year, more than 100 million workers will be displaced by digitization by 2030. More than half of the displaced lower wage workers will need to shift to occupations in higher wage brackets that require the application of more advanced skills in order for them to remain gainfully employed. In another study by Salesforce, 9 out of 10 people will need to learn new skills in order to do their jobs in future. Actually, we don't need to look too far ahead. If you are looking for a job now, a recent report indicates that 7 of the top 10 most in-demand jobs globally require skills that are linked to different technologies. And they are AI specialists, data scientists, robotics engineers, cloud engineers, cybersecurity specialists, and JavaScript developers. For the business leaders out there, Peter Diamandis, an innovation pioneer and founder of the X Prize Foundation, identified 4 models that will reshape the commercial world in the next decade. And they all have to do with the convergence of different technologies. 1, the crowd economy. These are developments that leverage on the billions of people online, like crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, leverage assets, and staff on demand. 2, the smartness economy. These are businesses that incorporate AI into their work processes, customer experiences, and business models. 3, decentralized autonomous organizations. The so-called DAOs are internet-based collectives with no employee, no boss, and no organization hierarchy. 4. Metaverse, a word that we have been hearing a great deal of late. It's an alternative digital reality using immersive blockchain and related technologies. A little more than kin and less than kind. Shakespeare's Hamlet said sarcastically about the complex and fatal relationships among his family members, those little ironies that haunt our lives. In a less dramatic but perhaps equally stunning manner, technology makes us masters of the universe, but keeps us subservient to its logic, more powerful in some ways, but yet more vulnerable. Digital skills help us maintain order in this brave new world of ours, but leave us more distant from essential human qualities. It is not good enough to be efficient and leading edge. We need also to maintain those very qualities that define our existence. We need to maintain the cognitive, social, and emotional skills that safeguard our humanity and help us become VUCA ready in the 21st century. Skills like adaptability and resilience, curiosity and openness to change, problem solving and entrepreneurship, communication and collaboration, and self leadership and management. How do we build these essential soft skills? I don't have a ready answer, but I know experiential learning is a good way to acquire at least some of them. We certainly cannot begin to hone these skills in today's conventional classrooms. We need to find other ways. The pandemic has also unfolded another irony. Some employees will be displaced because they no longer have the requisite skills for the jobs at hand. But we are seeing at the same time another momentous movement, the Great Resignation. The pandemic has led to a great awakening in the workforce. Never before have so many people recognized that there are more important things in life than work. Workers today want more flexibility, autonomy, and opportunity to pursue their own goals and interests. With the incentives and perks contained in our company's current rather traditional conditions of service, it would be a miracle for these businesses just to retain the existing staff, not to mention attracting new talents with relevant skills from the outside. 3 years ago, we were struggling to find ways to adjust to a new normal. Last year, what was considered disruptive shortly before had become the new normal in running a business. The hybrid working model, for example, was seemingly impossible or even unthinkable in the pre pandemic days, but it is now seen as a progressive model for innovative and forward looking companies. This year, the more progressive companies are formulating their post pandemic growth strategies and building learning organizations to ensure their workforce can take on the jobs of today and tomorrow, as more individuals embrace lifelong learning as an imperative. We are seeing 7 main learning and development trends. 1. Reskilling, upskilling, and cross skilling. The first two are self explanatory, and I won't go into them. Cross skilling is the learning of skills not central to one's core functions. For example, a salesperson may learn digital marketing skills. Cross skilling can foster team collaboration as well as employee loyalty because internal mobility is the biggest factor for improving retention. 2. Training for all. Under the distributed leadership and self leadership models with little or no company hierarchy, everyone can be or should be developed as a leader. The pandemic has also made us realize that the often neglected roles in an organization can also be important. A future proof organization has to empower every person in the entire organization to be business ready. 3. Micro learning. We can employ bite sized multiple learning formats for our workers and ourselves, from videos, comics, to online readings for quick and easy consumption on any subject at a time and place that are convenient to us. 4. Experiential learning. These are activity-based, hands-on, integrative, and collaborative learning experiences that often involve solving problems in a real-world setting. 5. Credentialing or accrediting. To make the learning more appealing to employees, some organizations are partnering with higher education institutions and industry associations to design relevant course contents and assessment tools and to provide recognition and endorsement. 6. Employee well-being. The pandemic has brought to the forefront the importance of the physical, mental, emotional, social, as well as digital well-being of the workforce. And last but not least, 7. Repositioning training as benefit. This is particularly appealing to young people who increasingly value learning and skilling opportunities more than other material perks. I have read quite a few annual reports in my days, and almost everyone posits that talent is the most important asset of the organization. Interestingly enough, staff training is often considered an expense item. If we are serious about building up the talent pool, organizations must invest in this asset to ensure that it does not depreciate over time. There are many strategies we can adopt, and the good news is that technologies can make staff development easier, more affordable, scalable, and effective. For example, we can, 1, empower employees to learn anything, anytime, anywhere, together with peers and experts from around the world. 2, motivate learning and make it fun through gamification. 3, enable personalized learning to meet the needs and career aspirations of individuals. 4, help track and assess learning progress of employees. 5, reduce the cost and enhance the ease and accessibility of training. We don't have to wait for the metaverse to descend upon us. Immersive technologies are quite mature already. They are particularly suited for training experiences that are difficult, expensive, and perhaps dangerous to simulate in a physical setting. 6, create real-time data to help employers and governments in assessing the efficacy of training programs. And 7, match gaps in the labor market and career opportunities with learning needs by providing real-time data that inform job seekers of market opportunities and the path that they need to take to reach them. These are just a few examples. There are others, I'm sure. To encourage the adoption of EdTech by institutions in our societies, Esperanza, our humble NGO, launched the first Adventures Global Business Acceleration Fellowship in 2020. The program seeks to identify and introduce effective EdTech learning solutions for Hong Kong and the Asia region. We have been able to work with a number of truly excellent firms, including Cybin Solutions, recently renamed as Thrive DX from Israel, that specializes in cybersecurity training. Glitchy from Sweden, offering VR training for healthcare and manufacturing businesses. Immerse from the UK, providing virtual enterprise training platforms. Nourish from India is a knowledge sharing platform. Motive.io from Canada, offering VR training in work processes and soft skills. Precision OS, also from Canada, is a VR training company that specializes in surgical training. And Accelerate from Hong Kong that provides a full suite of training in building digital skills. In a recent survey conducted by Esperanza with business executives in Hong Kong, 61% of the respondents indicated that digital skills were lacking in their organizations. But 56% said that the pandemic has not resulted in any change in the staff development priorities. Lack of budget was often cited as the most important reason. Online learning platforms with government funding and coordination are seen as essential drivers in workforce development in a society. It seems that businesses are looking for subsidies and expertise in the training of their staff rather than making use of their own resources. Many governments do see the difficulties faced by the business sector and have agreed to help. In Hong Kong, the Continuing Education Fund subsidizes adults up to 20,000 Hong Kong dollars a year to pursue continuing education and training on a co-payment basis. The government has also launched the Reindustrialization and Technology Training Program to subsidize companies up to 500,000 Hong Kong dollars a year on a 2-to-1 matching basis to train employees with Industry 4.0 skills. We hope more companies in Hong Kong would take advantage of these training schemes, even though they are not the best substitutes for their own company specific schemes. But here, money speaks louder than logic or strategic relevance. Having said that, let me share the wishes of our survey respondents that government funding schemes should be more applicant friendly and should meet the online or hybrid learning needs of people in today's environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the futurist Alvin Toffler said, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. To get yourselves prepared for the next Black Swan, you may wish to start learning something new today and learn it in a non-traditional way. Seek is a good place to start. You will find many interesting and informative learning platforms that will suit your needs. Happy learning. Thank you very much.